on the plate right now. It's going to be Johnny kicking from left to right in that red strip, and in white from right to left will be ANTONIORADELJA. I'm really excited. This quarterfinals full of goals. Will it be another goal-filled fest, or maybe more of a tactical chess match in this particular occasion? Alex is joining me in the commentary booth. Al, what are you expecting from this? I know you were speaking to Brandon and he said maybe not as many goals than the quarterfinals, but it should still deliver a cracking game.
Still deliver a cracking game, for sure. But I don't think goals galore will come, purely for that simple fact of this game now, the most precious game that they've played in so far this weekend. To get into that final, secure that top two for that playoff spot, but also to just say you were in the grand final of the VBL. Players might be a little bit more hesitant to maybe play with the freedom that they normally do. I will say, though, one thing that I'm liking, I'm not too sure whose camera view we're getting here. I think this is Johnny's, actually. I like a bit of a co-op camera angle. I get to see the whole pitch, Richard. We don't get this all too often. Most people are tele-broadcast players.
Yeah, I'm co-op 20 zoom. No, 0 zoom 20 height. I think it is. I'm seeing the entire pitch.
You like to play at the top of the stands, right?
Yeah, I'm up there. Last row. I'm in the cheap seats. Painting the picture of the entire pitch. Like Picasso. A little bit of alliteration for you on a Sunday afternoon.
I mean, you were Stormzy for a bit yesterday, so...
Do many a things. I'm a man of many talents.
You are indeed.
Just having a quick look at the teams here. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Guerrero getting the call at left back for Antonio. There's Jude Bellingham. Just flashes that over the bar.
Yeah, interesting the different setups that we have here. 5 at the back for Johnny. 4 at the back for Antonio. He's using that left back on that join the attack. Frimpong will be holding back. Just sticking on that halfway line. So you're going to see lots of switches of play. Basically a battle of give us the wings. They'll drive the byline. Cover the wing. Look for the driven pass in the middle. Into step overs. Into the strikers. Frimpong takes a advancing run.
It's been all Antonio in this first 20 minutes. It's got to be said. He looks the more likely to break the deadlock. Nice bounce there for Mane. The step over comes in, but as he always seems to do, Lucio at the back, sniffing out the danger, getting across. Taking the ball away. What a through ball that is. That's Johnny in on goal. Mane! 1-0 against the run applied, but a beautiful through ball.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of these players at the VBL this weekend have just managed to time to perfection. Their ability to send a through ball from one side of the pitch to the other. Perfect direction, perfect power. Beautiful from Nkunku. And absolutely no hesitation from Johnny. The sign of a FIFA player that is very confident right now. First time across the body, across the goalkeeper. Johnny strikes first.
The winner of this game gets €20,000 guaranteed. It's got to be said as well. Certainly no chump change. And, maybe even more important than the cash, a guaranteed FGS playoffs spot. Taking place the weekend of the 23rd, 24th of June. The playoffs will be live in London. And one of these two players will be there.
Yeah, and to put that into perspective for people at home that may not know what the playoffs mean, essentially it is your ticket to get you through to the World Cup, the biggest event of the year. It's what all of these FIFA players play from the start of the release to work towards. That is the dream goal. So playoffs.
It's the only ticket as well.
Exactly. The only ticket to the World Cup for these players.
Imagine Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, but FIFA. It's a golden ticket. And instead of Oompa Loompas, you've got Richard and Brandon. That's it for Antonio coming forward. And Nkunku breaking into the box. Good defending from Johnny. Seems to have a lot of possession, a lot of build-up play, but Johnny's the one who's made it pay in this opening 37.
Looking to threaten the Trabella there with Nkunku, but the goalkeeper movement, Kevin Trapp, came quickly for Johnny. Something we forgot to tell you, Richard Buckley, Tim Ox was not using Kevin Trapp.
I did see that, and did he not concede about 8 goals?
Yeah, he was using Kalachi, so maybe it's just a problem for the VBL players that goalkeepers not the strongest.
I mean, if you're not going to use Alphonso Davies, is there a potential in which Neuer plays in goal?
I think after the goalkeeper displays we've seen this weekend, I would be making sure I have Neuer in my team.
I think it's. I mean, centre mids. Jude Bellingham will always play alongside Lothar Matthäus, so you're probably not going to use Goretzka. The wide areas.
It's Mane. Mane's the one that everyone's picking.
Mane +1. So then who's the +1 that you go for? And it could be Neuer. We've seen Alphonso Davies. We've seen
Musiala.
Goretzka, Musiala. And speaking of Mane, he can exploit the through balls, go for a wing back or release a wide midfielder when it's on. It's really fascinating how both players have set up here.
Yeah, it's the beautiful thing about football and FIFA that you can play the game how it suits you best and play to your strengths. Some people like to build up slow, some people hit on the counter, some look for through balls, over the top, crosses, long range shots, fancy footwork, relying on the mechanics inside the 18-yard box. And also we see different play styles across different regions in the world.
Chance for Antonioradelja. Makes it 2.
Half an inch. He's going to take that one touch and just get it out of his feet. The player switch onto the left centre-back was late, and then onto Davies, just nowhere near. And Nkunku, there's a reason why so many players, Murray said earlier on, one of the favourite players for the VBL competitors this weekend.
Good defending there from Antonio as Johnny came forward. Nkunku's a player that I've never really even not particularly thought about too much, but I can see why he's 3.3 million coins when we look at him here. Like, I think he's one of those that unless you pack him in an Ultimate Team pack or as a red player pick from Foot Champs, you don't even think about it. But he's so good. He just seems so clutch in these games.
Yeah, he has been massively clutch for so many players. I think as Mane drives towards that byline, I think for so many players across, that's a terrible pass coming out. Mane again.
Yeah, he's made him pay. It's just a mistake from Johnny. Yeah. Really not too much else to say. A bad loss of possession.
Keep an eye on this camera in the bottom left as well. I am loving this from Antonio's camp right now. The hype that they are giving this man. Really good press, switching onto Matthäus to cover that pass. Again, the step overs, Mane, green time. And look at that. Head to head.
Oh, nose to nose.
Yeah. Beautiful. I'm going back to Nkunku very quickly. I think as well, for many Ultimate Team players across the world, people tend to go towards maybe Premier League, Spanish League, French League, Bundesliga. Sometimes it can be difficult to get those players in just purely for the links factor with nationalities as well. You know, you think about Davies, you want to try and get him in. Nationality is tough.
Just tough.
Nkunku, yes, French, so you can link him across from there. But that may be a factor in why you don't see him as much in so many teams online. Or maybe just that people can't afford him because he's
so expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, the
there's
love
a reason
that,
why we're seeing it, right?
Yes, absolutely. The love that Antonio's team is showing him here. I mean, I don't think I've been that close nose to nose with another human in about 3 years. Unbelievable stuff. I'm all for the back five. I think it works, and I think it's a very viable strategy. Just as I say that, Johnny releases one of those through balls. Marco Reus with the touch. It was too heavy, and it just gave Kevin Trapp a little bit too much string to pull on. And he reeled it in.
The trustworthy heel to ball roll not coming through for Johnny and Marco Reus. That's normally something every player loves to execute when you get into that area. I want to see that replay again, because I think the touch actually made it in a way where Johnny may have just been able to walk past Kevin Trapp with just one more big touch. Either way, though, in hindsight, easier said than done. The angle from Kevin Trapp was good enough. He claims that one. Antonio, we're very happy to see Trapp pick that one up and claim it.
Either just a dribble past the keeper, but I also think there was enough space between him and defender and the goalkeeper that the ball roll was on. Marco Reus getting another chance to return for his errors. Green time, Kevin Trapp has come to play for Antonioradejla. Again, that through ball, perfectly weighted, and it's just cutting left mid on the 5, inside of the fullback.
The difference that we're seeing from Johnny when he's going for these through balls, he's not actually even building up in the sense of using a runner as a decoy. What he's actually just doing is laying it off and looking for that through ball along the ground. So many people see those first time over the top through balls come through that can be easier to read. The runner comes across at the bottom of the screen, laid up at the top, and Johnny timing them to perfection. But ultimately, if you're going to get into those scenarios one-on-one with the goalkeeper, you have to be putting them away.
Can't agree anymore. As Mane comes forward, that time.
This man and his through balls are crazy. You see Mane start making that run there, and Nkunku just drives, and you look at the player switch from Antonio. He switches over to that fullback, but by that point, it's too late. Mane is gone, and those through balls that we are seeing to get that secret, but then maybe he doesn't want to give up that secret, because right now, it is his golden ticket for the chocolate factory.
Nice. I don't even know. I was going to make another chocolate factory reference, but I don't know.
I think 2 in 1 game is probably enough.
2 in 1 game. Doesn't want to get too greedy, though, does he, Johnny? And keep relying on it over and over again like Augustus Kloop.
Antonio being smart. Playing for that last attack.
Ooh, we could have been in there as well. I'm going to pick your brains after this game. This is a talking point that I want to bring up as Johnny launches it forward for one last attack. And he's actually going to get on that as well. Ridiculous that ball's even gone through, and the referee will give him the corner. It's going to be whipped directly in. Header down.
Absolutely that, LaCroix. And just to answer a question there as well from Frank Ace, do they have to use the same team, or do they both prefer to use the same sort of players? So essentially, for the team restrictions throughout the VBL this weekend, they can only use 2 players from the same club, which is why you're seeing Mane and Davies from Bayern Munich for a lot of these players. You can have 2 players from Dortmund. That's how it works. So obviously, a lot of these players are wanting Bellingham in their team, Mane, so there's a lot of similarity there. And normally, the sort of variance that we've probably been seeing, Richard, comes out in the wing-back positions. Guerrero, for example. Some go Davis, some go Angelino. Multiple options there.
Yeah. Couldn't explain it much better myself. I'm sure they'll all be happy to see the back of Kevin Trapp, as their FIFA season will be extended. All the semi-finalists have got a guaranteed spot into the play-ins. That's a tournament that's taking place next week, if you are interested. Next Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe. And the play-offs, which, as we said before, is the ticket to the FIFA E World Cup final, taking part later in the summer. And the play-offs commencing the 23rd, 24th of June. The weekend down in London.
That post. Oh, Frimpong recovered so well there. Davies looked like he was breaking away. Mane was making that run into that department. But Frimpong, so quick.
We've watched a lot of the virtual Bundesliga so far. Where do you think the team's weaknesses are? Because I think for me, I've got a couple of ideas. I think goalkeeper has to be said in terms of team selection. I also think that they're missing a striker in the Bundesliga. You're having to play sort of like a Mane or an Nkunku as that central striker, and you'd probably rather them Nkunku maybe a little bit deeper, Mane probably out wide if you're playing a 5 or if you're a 4-3-2-1 as one of those two supporting centre forwards. I do think they're missing that out-and-out striker. I know we've seen Fulkrug, we've seen Kolo Muani coming on and being involved, but
yeah,
that's my take.
I think in previous years of the VBL, Lewandowski was the man that used to be there, which obviously for a player like him, you just have that reliable finishing, right? Moving a winger like Mane into that striker position, although his shooting stats very, very good, just that raw talent to find the back of the net, something that Lewandowski does, Haaland, Harry Kane, R9, just all of those sort of strikers that are just born to score goals. Mane, well, he's great at pace. He's got great dribbling. He's good passing. He's more of a well-rounded sort of player. Moving him into striker offers a different sort of outlet. As you said, yeah, you'd probably prefer him out on the wing because, yes, Diaby can beat a man, but also he's a little bit weaker than Mane. He can't really hold his own up against that fullback. So maybe the Bundesliga at some point, there's been talks of, maybe Harry Kane moving over to the Bundesliga this time next season.
Lots of rumours. Lots of rumours.
This time next season, Richard, we might have Harry Kane there.
I also did see something quite interesting in the chat as well, saying Mateus is a weakness. And I do get that as well, because Mateus wouldn't be anywhere near an FGS squad.
So the reason why he would be a weakness in that sense is that he's a fantastic item in game. He can defend. He's actually good on the ball, good centre of gravity. So his agility is good. He can turn. He can pick a pass out. He's up and down the pitch. The difference where Mateus is to like Hullet is, there isn't that physical presence. The German crosses are difficult. Can't really shoot from range as someone like Hullet that most players will be running in the middle. He's a little bit lackluster when you're comparing to a player like Hullet who can just do everything for you.
He's an 8 out of 10. He'll be a consistent 8 out of 10 performer. However, Jude Bellingham can take you to a 10. Hullet can take you to a 10. And I think that's probably where Mateus just does lack ever so slightly.
Yeah.
Nothing yet to shout about in this second leg of the semi-final.
At the same time, all the players have that same decision to make, but at least they're all on that level playing field.
Yeah, everyone's taken the same icon. No one's had a different icon in use as that rattles off the crossbar. He's come a long way, the keeper. He's fumbled it. Shock, Kevin Flapp. And he's just about done enough.
Antonio laughing and smiling there. And you know what? He can do that because thankfully the ball didn't cross that white line.
Kevin. I'm going to miss him.
I'm going to tell you one thing, I'm certainly not.
He's made the game more entertaining.
I said, start of this weekend, Kevin Trapp. Questions got to be asked there about that goalkeeper, and you know what? It's delivered throughout game after game after game.
It's
I
a
feel
good
like Kevin
shout from you.
Trapp has shown something for us.
Yeah, it was a great shout early on. Just waiting for the halftime whistle. Here is Johnny trying to carve out one more opportunity. Wing-backs both high and wide for him. Jude Bellingham now spreads it out to that left-hand side. Alphonso Davies just can't do enough, and that's going to go straight out of play from Frimpong for half-time.
Ruth was saying about how these formations, do they have strikers? You can't by Munich. You want Neuer in. Are you really going to drop? Mane?
Maybe Kolo Muani, I think. He could be the other one, but not everyone's even used Kolo Muani, so...
Yeah. Yeah, that is it. Kolo Muani.
Did see some... the player for that player, yes, I believe so. Interesting second leg here. No one's really taking control of it. Johnny has been chasing, but like a dog chasing cars, never seems to catch up, and he's just not been able to make Antonio pay, really, for that early pressure.
Dog chasing cars.
It's a good one, or you're not a fan of that one?
I was a bit disappointed by that one. I'm not going to lie.
Okay. Needs work.
Chat, we are aware of the audio just dipping out there slightly. We apologise for that. We are all back with you now, though. And thankfully, you weren't missing too much, though. But chance for Johnny Bellingham. Whew.
What a player. I mean, he has been at the heart of every single team. He's at the heart of Dortmund's season, and Frimpong in on goal here. Digs over the keeper. Good save.
Antonio giving a bit of medicine back to Johnny with that through ball, but it's just not the player that you want in that scenario. Frimpong shooting and the finishing not quite there. The touch made it narrow, and then it was, does he go for the Trivela? Maybe trying to squeeze it in. Chose to go for the chip. Traps it out with ease. Sorry, that was bad.
Okay, I liked it. I'll let you carry on.
Astro Ash was a big fan of your dog chasing cars.
Thank you. Here all day. Quite literally. Antonioradejla is just taking the sting out of this game, I'll be honest. He knows that one more goal will do him, however, not really made any inroads in getting that goal. All the emphasis on Johnny to get an equaliser and send us into extra time. That run over the top, he does decide to ignore it and instead sliding in Kunku, who's got the pace to get away from Lucio. Ball roll scoop turn inside the box. La Croqueta pass back into Jude Bellingham. What does Mateus have in the locker? A driven pass into Mane. Green time strike. Trap does well to die.
Antonio, who are you rooting for? 15 minutes to go. 3-2 to Antonio. Who is going to be victorious?
Yeah, drop a J or an A.
J or an A. Nice and easy.
Who's going to be victorious? Right now, Antonio is the A side in this tie. However, just a few interesting decisions here. He's trying to manage the game, but I just don't know if he'll be able to get over the line in this vein. I feel like Johnny's got a goal in him still. Here is Johnny with Jude. Dinked over the top. Diaby's onside. What can he create? Inside the box. Fires it back to Marco Reus. Twisting, turning, the step-overs come in like a huge tackle. And it's celebrated like a goal in the back of Antonio's camera.
Huge tackle there from Frimpong. Got one-on-one earlier on. Missed that chance. Makes up for it to keep Johnny away at bay. He comes forward again.
Seven minutes left to play. Musiala with the sprint boost out of the step-overs. Thuram knocks it back to Musiala as Antonioradejla erupts in celebration. Is that an FGS playoff spot booked for Antonioradejla? And this could be the goal to seal it out.
Yeah, Thuram just out on that weird angle. Ball rolls away to just evade the challenge from the goalkeeper. The composure to slip that one back to Musiala, who just has to simply pass that one into the back of the net. You knew as soon as it came back to him, Antonio fires himself into a comfortable 2-goal margin with less than 10 minutes remaining and a spot in the grand final waiting for him.
Guaranteed €20,000 for the winner of this game. Johnny, what a tournament he has had. The upset of the virtual Bundesliga against Umut earlier on today. He's been a great player in his own right all season long. But it could just be one game too far here in the VBL. Antonio making a few changes. You just see in the background a 5-4-1 setup coming in. No surprise whatsoever there. As Team Johnny, from the adulation earlier on today, beating Umut to the devastation of 6 minutes competition time left on the clock. What does Johnny have in the locker? He's just driving straight at him. Don't think you're going to score like that. And the sand is slowly but surely slipping through his fingers here. Pass out of play. Johnny looks down. I think he knows that this tournament is all but over. It's Antonioradejla, green times, but a good block.
All but over indeed for Johnny. And it's going to sting now. It's going to hurt. It's Marco Reus.
Could be an on goal here. Green timed.
Chance. Chance Buckley.
Surely not. We've just wrote his obituary. we just counted him out. Kick
How
off.
long? 1 minute,
We need to
2
see
minutes.
we need to see the injury time. 1 minute. He's not going to get the ball back. That's going to do it. Antonioradejla is one of your 2 grand finalists in the VBL 2023.